Hello fellers and welcome back to Noob's Workshop. Now today we are going to be modding the Disassembly Mad Mega Barrel. Now unfortunately we will have to be taking a spring from another old gun since we can't afford new ones. The first step in this project is going to be unscrewing everything. Now I thought I'd show you guys a little bit more of the process this time, but boy, the process this was. This gun had 39 screws, I think. I counted. Not only did it have that many screws, but it's first, when I unscrewed all of them, I thought that the gun was broken or something because I could not get the gun open, and normally they just pop right open. So I was like, searching around for another screw off camera a little bit, but I still couldn't find it. I thought like maybe I'd had unscrewed something, but turns out that wasn't the problem. I escaped the matrix for half a second and found out there's a hidden screw in the middle of the X on the Extra Insanity sticker that I had to unscrew. So just a tip for any of you guys that are trying to mod that gun. Now I did open up the gun, and thankfully this just looks like a little bit bigger version of the Berserker gun, and that one was pretty simple. But now I have to unscrew this gun, but thankfully it'll just be as simple as all of the other ones, right? It was in fact not that simple. From this footage it looks like it's just simple unscrewing, but boy, this gun had so many hidden features. I gave up and had to pry the gun open, then I still had to pull some pieces out of the way to try and grab the spring. But anyway, now since I have no hope of putting this gun back together, we're gonna throw it in the trash can that is not a cardboard box. Enjoy the ASMR. Now that that's done, it's time to actually mod the gun. So all I have to do is take that part out and somehow incorporate that other spring. Like so. Now, like last time, this piece does have a little orange piece up front that all we have to do is some simple unscrewing and we should be able to pop it off. Okay, so this the spring thankfully fit on top of the other one quite nicely, but however, this might go wrong in the end, but let's pray it doesn't. Okay, now that's done, all that's left is to pop this little piece back on and snap it back into the spot where it originally was. Now it's time for one of my favorite parts, putting the cover back on, because this part's satisfying because usually it does like a bunch of nice little clicks, but that will not be the case because it took me a few screws to realize that the gun doesn't really close properly, which means something was wrong. I came back to check and I realized I missed this little orange piece, so I had to open the gun back up and figure out where this little piece went if I had any hope of this gun working again. Okay, I put the lid back on and screwed in only a few things, and I'm happy to say the trigger works. The only problem is I still did not end up using that orange piece, so that might be an issue in the future. All that matters right now is that for now the gun works and we can successfully screw everything else back in. As you can see, the reassembly went very good except for the occasional jump scare. But other than that, everything went smooth sailing. Now that the gun was put back together, I tried to put on the barrel and fit the gun into the camera shot as well, but it's kind of hard since the magazine for the gun holds 72 darts, so it has to be big. Now it's time for the one and only test. Since this is a manual gun, I have set this ruler 6 feet away from the wall. As you can see, it's marked there, and we're just going to shoot 1 or 2 darts and measure the time that it gets there using math. Okay, as you can see, the gun is measured with the ruler and it's time to fire. The problem with these guns is that whenever I finish modding them, they always come back sounding more plasticky than they did before. Moving on, the test results for double spring. The distance was 6 feet, the time to travel per dart was 0.055 seconds, and the feet per second was 110, which is a slight increase from the average. There is no shout out for today since no one commented, but I'll see you in the next one. Bye!